Well, you may have heard about celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, and television personality Maria Menounos getting full-body MRIs without a doctor's order. And they're not the only ones. The private companies that offer the scans are now in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Tonight, Janelle Klein talks to a local woman about her experience and why some doctors aren't quite sold on the idea.
2021.
Jill Anderson spent weeks in pain.
Joint inflammation, fatigue.
And even after dozens of tests, struggled to find out why.
I just didn't know what was wrong with me and couldn't figure it out.
So she booked a full-body MRI through a private company called Prenuvo and paid $2,500 out of pocket for an hour of scans.
So this is my report.
And for these results, showing everything from a cyst in her knee to a disc bulge in her back to minor arthritis. No major problems and also no clues to what was wrong.
Here's my nervous system.
It was blood work with her doctor, not the MRI, that finally found Jill had celiac disease. But she's grateful for the other things it showed.
The Prenuvo scan allowed me to go into my body and see what was happening inside my body.
That's exactly why CEO Andrew Lacey founded Prenuvo.
A picture really tells 1,000 words.
After wanting what he calls peace of mind about his own health, he opened 8 Prenuvo sites around the country, one of them in Edina. Lacey says the scans look for 500 conditions, including things like cancer and aneurysms that are sometimes undetected.
Very many quite serious conditions can be quietly growing inside our bodies while we are still asymptomatic.
That's why Lacey believes this will someday be routine, that insurance companies and mainstream clinics will make full-body scans standard. He calls our healthcare system reactive and says Prenuvo instead lets people stop what he calls silent killers.
The vast majority of those findings are at an early stage when medical treatment is easy, less expensive, and way more likely to be successful for that patient.
But that thorough detection is among many criticisms some doctors have of Prenuvo. The American College of Radiology is just one professional group that's against full-body scans, saying there's no evidence they're effective in prolonging life. It says the scans are expensive and time-consuming, and unless patients are at high genetic risk, they're unlikely to find anything significant. And it says they often cause people with no real issues to worry for nothing.
Unnecessary testing, unnecessary procedures, unnecessary surgeries, that is the other side of the coin.
Dr. Benjamin Meyer is a radiologist who's used MRIs for years.
It's a very powerful tool.
And says he's skeptical of companies like Prenuvo. He says for nearly all patients, common tests like mammograms, colonoscopies, and blood screening are just as effective at saving lives.
There are screening programs that we use for medical conditions, and I would highly encourage people to discuss those with their primary care physician and get those done.
Meyer says everybody has quirks and abnormalities that will never cause problems, and that people with no concerns or symptoms simply don't need full-body images.
If it's not bothering you, it's fine.
Jill Anderson says her doctor agrees, and since cutting out gluten, she again feels great. And she has no regrets, but says Prenuvo is not for everyone.
I found it valuable, and I'm glad I did it. But the price is just for, most people, it's just too expensive. So it's an investment in your health.
Janelle Klein, KARE 11 News.
There are several other companies offering elective full-body MRIs, but like Prenuvo, none of them are typically covered by insurance.